Hello, everybody, and we're back for more Kingmaker
Hooray!
with new people.
Yay!
What? Where?
Hooray!
That new voice that you're hearing, Caleb.
This
That's
new
not a
voice
new
that you
voice.
have never heard before.
Never in my life.
Yay! So, everyone, this is Haley.
Hello!
If you've been watching along, you may have seen her leave very long comments in things before. That doesn't mean if you leave long comments, we let you join the game. Haley has been leaving comments because she hasn't been able to join because she's been studying abroad, but she's back now
Ta-da!
and finally able to join the game. So, woo!
Woo.
Yay.
But for the record, I am still jet lagged, so forgive me.
Fire her.
Oh no. I've
to
lost
do is you have to-
my favor already.
Yeah. What you have to do is you have to tie that into your character. You've traveled a great distance to be.
Alright, so, excuse me. When last we met, you guys had continued to grow the barony of Embara,
Yep.
and nothing else interesting happened. Definitely not any surprising political actions or surprise marriage proposals that were accepted.
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that happened, except that's exactly what happened.
Exactly.
So when we ended, you guys had managed to secure yourself a gold mine and get it up and running. And Hans was about to take off.
Secure himself a wife.
Well, yeah, but he was also about to head off to his future in-laws to see if he could make use of their trade resources to be able to trade the gold throughout the kingdom, and as a good chance to meet the family.
Good plan.
Oh dear.
I am your future son-in-law. This is why it's a good reason. I mean, this is why you want me as your...
I come bearing gold.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's almost an instant in to any house at this time, isn't it? I come bearing gold.
Definitely
No.
a big plus. So, Hans,
Yes.
right before you're about to leave on this trip, which you've managed to get everything together despite being winter. Fortunately, Fortunately, this road, as I said, as has been stated, the Labetta household directly borders your own new formed kingdom. So
Right.
this road leads directly to their ancestral home.
Hey, how convenient.
But you receive a letter.
Oh, good. Does it have a seal on it?
It does.
Yay. Whose seal?
You sound so thrilled.
It is the high seal of the Arlesky house.
Oh, goody. Hans has been dreading this message.
Yeah.
Because it's like... this will either be really good or really bad.
Mm.
Like, this is just before I leave?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Hans is going to read that before they leave, I think, just because that's slightly more private. Can go into a different room.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not like exactly before you leave the door, but I'm saying like a day or two before you're about to leave.
Yeah, going to read that.
Okay. Also, his spelling and grammar errors don't exist. Those are
Okay.
purely mine.
Yep, no problem. I do in fact edit those out most of the time.
I am
Okay, occasionally I do flip up. That's on me. Da, da, da. Neat. Cool. Yeah, Hans is going to craft sort of reply to that. Thank you for your concern and greatly appreciate the help and that sort of thing. He's going to have a heck of a story to hear when they actually meet in person again.
Mhm.
Hans is.
Are we allowed to know
Doing-
this, or are you going
Yeah.
to just be cryptic this whole time?
I'll get to it, sorry. Yeah, there's no flippin' way Hans is going to put something as sensitive as political machination involving the Queen
Yeah,
in a letter. Okay.
good plan.
Oh dear. Okay, so up presumably at meeting of the council. Ooh. Yeah. My family is sending down someone to act as a diplomat of sorts for the kingdom. Apparently, they have a good deal of experience in this matter. Naturally, they are a fate mother. Excuse me. That would be a holy knight of Pharasma. Naturally, I will meet with her before coming to any. Oh, I'll meet with her and I'll make sure that each of you gets a chance to speak with her before any decisions are made, seeing as we already have a chief diplomat. This man over there.
This unnamed NPC.
Yeah. Give all due consideration for that. Yeah, that's pretty much.
The unnamed NPC is perfectly fine with stepping down if there is somebody better. He has found the position quite stressful and doesn't think that he is the best choice for it.
Oh, thank God! That was the one thing I was worried about.
So he's like, there could be somebody else to take over, because he just took over because he believes in the mission, so he wanted to help out, but he's like, someone needs to do it, so he stepped up and did it, but he doesn't enjoy the job.
Okay, good.
Like a sound tech. What?
Yes.
Not entirely true.
All right. So that would be really the only. Yeah. That's what was contained within that letter.
Cool. All right.
And then later, like probably after the meeting, he let Gregory know, just like if the Fate Mother should happen to arrive, while I am gone, would you please schedule her to meet with me when I get back at some point?
Excuse me?
Gregory is the name of Hans's secretary.
Yes, I was about to ask, what kind of accent does this Gregory have? Yeah.
None? As far as I remember the voice I gave him, I don't think I gave him an accent.
Okay. Because at first I hoped his name was Gregor.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And Caleb, what kind of accent did you decide Gregor should have in oh dear, why can't I remember the name? Awakening?
No, his accent. There is partial voice acting.
Oh, there is. There
Yes.
is. Okay.
All right.
Yes. His name is Gregor.
Yes.
So while Hans is making the cold trip up in carriage, probably with some guards, Napkip is concerned about you going without him.
Aw.
I'll have. Yeah, that's. Well, that's the thing. He's captain of the watch, isn't he? Let me look at the rest of them. Okay, what are the jobs of the marshal and warden again?
Okay, so the marshal is the border guard. The marshal is the one who directly deals with all the things that are happening on the outside. Captain of the watch happens with things that are happening directly in the cities. The warden is the person who's kind of in charge of coordinating the defenses of everything that's outside that purview. So the captain of the watch handles both the defense of the cities and the defense of, and probably like looks over probably the sheriffs of the individual villages.
Cool.
The warden is all about the outline areas. They're the border guard to make sure that, you know, bandits on the border activity, or on the roads or stuff like that is looked after. So the marshal, that's the marshal. The warden's job is to catch everything that comes in between of those two areas, between the villages. So he makes sure that there's proper patrols to make sure that, you know, the individual farms are safe and stuff of that nature.
Okay, yeah.
Also, he's probably the direct supervisor of all the sheriffs of the villages.
Yeah.
Hans, have to tell you, I don't like you going back there without me to keep you safe.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was considering taking Imogen and Akiros.
But they're not me.
Do you have someone who can take over for a bit while you're gone?
Yeah.
All right, come along.
Yes. I will go make arrangements now.
Yes.
All right, so are you taking up Imogen and Akiros, or are you just?
Well, I'm still considering them. So.
Or you're just gonna have Hans act as your bodyguard?
I think I'll have Hans act as my character.
Sorry, Napkip act as your bodyguard.
Sorry, that one I could not pass up. I misspeak. I will jump on occasionally.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Huh. Okay, what I'll probably have them doing is... Yes, I think I will have them travel with me, but so kind of have them... Or ask them to organize things to make sure the road ahead is safe. Just keep a little extra eye on that while I'm going.
Okay.
All right, so they'll be traveling with you, but yes, is that the plan?
Yeah, it's like they're traveling with me, but occasionally they might leave to go check on a guard post or move some people around or something.
All right, so basically they're traveling with you, but also to do research on what exactly the precautions and protections in place of of the trade road that you're not directly in control of are, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So while we are traveling there, let us flash back to several months ago,
Oh dear.
in which Imogen was in an archery contest.
Yay!
Back to festival music. Here we go. Okay.
Ooh, yes, good idea.
Chrono Trigger festival music. Got it.
Oh, I like Dark Cloud's festival music.
I was just going to play the Hyrule Castletown theme.
Ooh, I like Caleb's idea.
These are all good choices.
They are. It's really just that I'm most familiar with that one, I guess.
All right. So as we have previously established, Imogen,
Yes,
you are in the archery contest
I am.
for the adults, and there is some pretty good competition, but there's only one guy who it was close to you, and he was the guy who actually beat you.
I glare in his direction.
He smiles friendly at you.
I feel terrible and stop glaring.
He is an elf, fairly tall. He has slightly less pointed features than normal, and actually even has a very, very slight beard going.
Is this the monk?
He could be a monk. You don't know. But anyway,
Alrighty.
before the crowning ceremony, he extends a hand, and he goes, "That was some excellent shooting. I'm not sure so much if I actually won or just got lucky this time."
Imogen takes the hand and says, "Well, thank you. It was a fun game."
He goes, "I've not seen you around here. I take it you're not a local?"
No. We were traveling this direction. We happened to be in town for the festival.
Oh, my name's Gladar, by the way.
Gladar. I'm not gonna remember that, but thank you.
Do you actually say that to him?
I don't know if I say that
Please
in character
say it
yet
to
or
him.
not.
Guy trying to flirt, girl. No.
You know what? Yeah. Imogen's just kind of but I will try. I'm not good with names. Double point.
he laughs and he goes, that's fine. He goes, so do you have? He goes, so do you know anybody here, or are you just here by yourself?
Currently I'm here by myself.
He goes, well, it wouldn't do for the for the Princess of Fall to be all alone. Why don't you come hang out with my sister and our friends?
Okay.
So then you guys have the actual crowning ceremony. You guys are where you and him are crowned the prince and princess of Fall.
Sweet.
And he introduced you to his friends. One of whom is his sister, Abellis, and another is a redheaded, freckled human woman named Helen.
Oh, nice to meet you. She awkwardly extends a hand to shake. And she might shake a little too hard.
They might shake a little bit too hard as well.
Okay, good.
I mean, basically, these are your people. Like, they live
Okay, good.
exactly like Imogen does. So, while you expect to find it, like, awkward and be them city folk, they're nothing like that at all.
Okay, good. Imogen might relax a little bit and maybe talk about how she's used to having to deal with city folk when she's in these areas. So this is refreshing.
They join in with your complaints about people. Glader and Abelis are actually from the city, but they do frequent work on the outside as any good follower of Aristellar. You find out that both of them actually work as part of the in some manner of clergymen.
Oh, Imogen's not used to the organizedness, but she's eager to learn.
They're both traveling hunters.
Okay.
Who do a lot of work. Helen is originally from up north, but she did originally grow up in here, but she moved, but she always comes back for the festivals.
Oh, nice. I shall have to come back next year. It's not too far from where we're putting up.
He goes, if you don't mind me asking, what exactly business are you traveling through for?
I'm trying to remember at what point this was. We were coming back, right?
Yeah, we were coming. Yes, we were coming back, and Hans is currently finishing the paperwork to make it official.
Okay, so I might just tell them about it then. I'm working with one Hans Gunsch. We're setting up to start a barony down south in the Stolen Lands.
Ah, pioneers then.
Yes.
He goes. That's a proud job for any Aristilian. I wish you well.
Well, thank you very much.
So they basically kind of just ask more questions, and this topic isn't always serious. It turns to more fun things like ideal arrow feathers and what type of arrowhead they each like, as well as hunting techniques. And
right.
Yeah, as previously determined, you get on great with them.
Yay!
Fast forward a couple of months.
Oh dear.
To right before you to a few days also before you're about to leave on with Hans on the journey.
Right.
And you return to one of the marshal cabins that you guys keep that kind of handles as, storage of supplies, and what little office work needs to happen and stuff like that.
Right.
You have yet been able to find someone who you think is suitable for the second in command position.
Oh, good.
And you are informed that there is somebody here for you to interview by one of your under marshals.
All right, I shall go and head that up.
All right, you have a small office, which is probably very barren and hardly ever used, but it's there.
There's like a layer of dust on everything. And I walk in and I'm like, oh shoot. And I don't like pick up anything to clean. I just rub my hands all over everything and hope nobody notices.
All right. A couple of minutes later, there is a knock on the door frame.
I go and I answered the door.
I
don't actually have a door, so I just say enter.
You see Glader standing there.
I'm sorry. she was getting rid of all the dust with her hands. I imagine her standing there in the middle of a semi-clean house with 2 handfuls of dust.
He goes, I hear you're asking for you're advertising for a position for a second in command.
Ah, you.
Yes, me.
Does Imogen remember his name?
Give me an intelligence roll.
Okay, hang on. I can do this. Where's my character sheet? There it is.
Oh, that would be a fun full circle.
Core intelligence. Roll that.
Ooh.
I don't know.
You're like, Glenn. He sticks out a hand. Later. We.
Imogen goes to shake his hand and then thinks better of it, wipes her hand on her pants a little bit, and then shakes his hand.
He goes, yeah. So he goes, yeah. So, from what you were saying, and I've heard good work, about you guys. So, sounded like something I'd like to sign up and help out with.
Good. Actually, you come at a very opportune time, because me and my associates, the one Hans Gunsch I told you about.
Right,
and...
Baron
yes.
Gunsch. He's sort of hard not to know about now.
Ha. And our captain of the guard, Sir Napkip, are about to head out on a journey, and I need someone to basically head up operations while we're out of town.
Oh. Okay. I wasn't expecting things to move along that quickly.
Well, I've already seen your ability, so I'm pretty sure we can skip that part.
It's fair, I guess.
Alright, so Imogen's like the gears are turning in her head trying to figure out what paperwork bits need to be taken care of, or if she can just you're in charge, leave. No, she basically.
You do also have a secretary who helps with these things.
Okay.
She's often very exasperated with you because she's a defense, she was joined up to be a marshal as well, but then she just saw how the chaos of your organizing system, and she's slowly taken over that part of the work, and it's just like, boss, I talked to you about this 5 times. You just need this form. I made it 1 form for you. 1 form!
I don't like paperwork, no.
She's like, none of you people do. We just need it.
So if there is paperwork that needs to be done for this, Imogen is certainly not going to do it. So
yeah, you just stick out your head and you're like, Natalie, I think it'll work. Can you paperwork?
Can you do the thing? Can you do the things?
It's 1 form, Imogen. 1 form. We've been over this.
So that's a yes.
Fine. I don't have a ton of my own work to do. She says that she has to come out behind a stack doing all of the paperwork that you don't do. That you're supposed to. She begins rooting around.
And Imogen's like, "Oh, good, that's taken care of. We can get out of this office. Come on." She motions to, what is his name? Shoot. Gladar. She motions to Gladar to follow her outside, and she's just basically going to show him around the things that he has to do in a day, and what.
Right, and introducing him to people, yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah, okay.
It's and bandits usually come up this area, and you just gotta take those out.
Usually?
Well, they've got patterns.
Have been known to.
Have been known to.
Usually sounds like, oh, they just come this way all the time.
Usually, as
This
in
is
they
this is where
usually
the bandit random encounters happen.
they usually come up, or we usually take care of them.
They happen sometimes in this area.
Oh,
I
and
don't
then
know.
and then when they happen, we always take care of them.
Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so basically she just shows him what like the routes that she takes and stuff and like yeah. And that's what you do. And if you have anything that you need help with, just ask Natalie. She's really good at that.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, so that's how that goes down.
Yes. I believe he. Natalie goes, well, you must be quite sure, because I'm pretty sure, because last time when I asked, when Imogen was going to actually get around to appointing her second in command, when the marshal was going to actually appoint her second in command, I believe her phrase is, when I find someone who can actually be a better shot than me.
Nice.
All right. So then, after all that business is taken care of and we have caught up to that bit of the time, you guys are traveling along the road.
Da-da-da!
Nothing exciting happens.
Oh.
What? No
Yay.
bandits?
Well, no, they all appear in that other area.
No bandits. I mean, there might have been bandits, but you guys
They're
are...
all dead.
Well, it's more that you guys are a pretty heavily well-armored troop. Like,
Bandits are mostly known for attacking weak targets.
Yeah,
that
and-
they can get a lot of things from.
and like, you know, you guys got one or two knights with you, and they've got this crazy lady with a helmet who's riding a bear, and that just doesn't seem like something they want to mess with.
Nah.
Thank you. Hooray, nothing exciting is happening. In it, I thought you were going to be like, and Napkip is killed, to be replaced by the feet. No.
No!
Napkip fan favorite.
Napkip, best character, 10 out of 10.
Do I still count as a fan?
I mean, yeah. she just shows up and she's got like a t-shirt with Napkip's face on it.
Walks over, heartily shakes hand.
She just walks up to Napkip. She's like, "I am your biggest fan."
And Napkip's trying to figure out why she's not fanning him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the most appropriate music for traveling, and I can't find any.
Oh yeah, we're traveling now. I should change her. You're traveling now.
Oh dear.
So it begins.
Yes.
I forgot about those.
All right. So you guys arrive at here, I'll move to the actual Brevoi map.
I need something in between tense and calm music.
Yeah.
Atmospheric music.
All right, so you guys arrive at the Silver Hall.
Okay.
Takes about a week.
Imogen tries very hard to keep her mouth shut. Because she knows she just gets herself in trouble around nobles if she opens her mouth.
There's the full greeting. So like all the servants come out as well. And standing at the front of the line are the 3 Lebettas. You guys obviously already know Elena.
Yes.
There looks to be a young man about slightly older than slightly younger than Elena. He has
Imogen like does a like hand over her mouth thing, and she's like, "That's the one you have to fight for her hand."
and there is a much older woman.
Oh, okay.
That's the one I'm probably not going to like.
Yeah.
5 gold. That what you just said is reversed.
Oh dear.
All right, so you guys approach the door. The door is opened, and you are very quickly greeted by the older woman.
Oh dear. What have you done?
Uh, greeting. Greetings, Lord. Greetings, Baron Gunch. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. We've heard, we so far, it is finally to put a face to the man that Lane has been describing all this time.
Blush.
Obviously know from your letters that her mother, the title of her mother would be Dame, and her name is Serona Lebetta. Her brother, who is also standing there, who you guessed from the descriptions, is named Lander.
Okay. Greetings, Dame Serena. It is good to finally meet you as well.
She gives you a very proper curtsy.
Yes, I myself have had to make do with mere descriptions up until now. So it is quite good to finally meet you. And Lander, I presume.
He goes, yeah, that. And then you get a look from Lebetta, and he goes, yes, he goes, sorry, he does not stutter. He goes, yes, I'm Lander. It's good to make your acquaintance. He says, he's a teenager, so he's trying to puff himself up and make him seem more adult and impressive than he is.
Kid, you are literally 102 years too young.
Imogen's thinking to herself, good, now beat him up.
No.
He's being about normal amount of a snot for a teenager his ears. Like, it's not particularly annoying. Just the normal level.
Yeah. No.
Imogen
Hans is
cringes
being-
slightly at that. Like she's smiling, but it's like a cringe smile at that reaction that Lander
Polite.
gives.
Hans is being polite about it.
The dame continues. Yes, it's so good to finally have you here to thank you in person for all you've done for Elena. We are most grateful.
Oh, it was no trouble at all.
No trouble at all. You have saved her life twice already.
And will gladly do it again if the occasion should arise, which it hopefully shan't.
She goes, well, that does bring calm to a mother's heart. I'm
glad you are reassured. maybe go in and get out of
Oh,
get out of this weather. It is quite. I'm afraid the.
It's like broad like cloudless sun outside.
Yeah.
no, it's actually real bad. It's the middle of
Okay,
winter, and
okay.
you guys, like as I said, you guys are basically in Canada/Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm afraid.
Sorry. It was just like the it was just the hilarity of that
Yes.
situation. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am afraid the months of Neth are not the best for a bit of a chat in the outdoors.
Imogen looks at Hans and raises an eyebrow but says nothing.
He goes, no, she goes, no, no, of course. Like, you, you and your party are welcome to come
By the
in.
way, he is being good-natured, not sarcastic.
Yeah, she introduced you to the person who will be acting as your butler while you're there, and tells you that he will be showing you to your room. There's the normal thing of the servants getting all of your baggage and carrying it.
Yeah. And Hans does greet Elena as well.
Like before he goes up to her, Imogen kind of sort of like nudges him and makes a heart shape with her hands and like makes a head nod towards her and's like, you know, act like you actually like her.
I believe the sociologically correct greeting would be a kiss on the hand.
Let's go with that.
Okay. She actually seems generally happy to see you.
Okay.
So they show you to the room where you'll be staying in. Being knights, of course, both Napkip and Imogen are given rooms of their own as well.
Right.
Thank you very much. Yes. At what time will dinner be taken?
The servant tells you the time.
All right. I wish to warm myself by a fire before then, if I may.
Yeah, you guys. It'll be about an hour and a half before dinner.
Yes. May I presume I will be meeting more of the family there, or are most of them away on this occasion?
He goes, most of the family winters further south. During the times, it is only the core members of the family here right now.
Pity. We must have passed them on our way up.
It is quite possible, sir.
Fireplace in my room.
There is a fireplace. There's a fireplace in all the rooms. It's an old it's a medieval castle. There are fireplaces everywhere.
All right. Well, if you could just help me get this fire started in there.
It's already started.
Oh, good. There's hospitality.
Yeah. It is already started, and there is, well, not like not like hot. There is a slightly warmer than room temperature bowl of water there. And the butler is more than happy to help with any to try and be as helpful as possible with any of your needs.
Okay.
Sweet. Imogen goes in the room and like she checks her hands and finds that they are still kind of have like a little dusty, so she goes and washes her hands.
Yes, you have also been inside a maid who tries to help you.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Hans was actually considering, should I send the butler to annoy Imogen?
Yeah.
Like, why are you? It's like a situation where Imogen's just just doing all this stuff, and the maid's like let me help, and she's like, no. It's like, can you be somewhere else or something?
But you're supposed to use.
No.
Well, there's going to be some interesting rumors about you downstairs. Because servants
I
never
don't need any help.
servants never rumor about people. That never happens.
No, of course not.
Never ever.
Fortunately, you guys have not gone to the point. Fortunately, society has not gone to the point where it's expected that you change clothes between meals.
Yay!
Oh god. Oh huh.
I'll just go in my armor, like usual.
Oh no.
What?
Did Hans tell her ahead of time that would be a bit of a faux pas?
Well, what do you want me to wear?
Man. In your size.
Oh man, is this gonna be a situation like we both like exit our rooms right before dinner, and you're like, no, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
Yes, I like that.
Yes, I like that. Actually, I probably would have told Napkip that it might be Napkip at least. It might be best if he eat with us while we're here. That might be awkward.
His response is, "How am I supposed to look after you then?"
Make sure no one comes in.
Imogen
Make sure
gives
no one-
Hans a look like, well.
No one comes in the dining room while I'm eating. No, scratch that. Make sure no one comes in who's not supposed to.
Okay.
If you let no one in, I might never eat.
But yeah, do you wanna like roleplay the exiting of the room?
So you guys, you are in suites, obviously in different rooms. You walk out, you see that Imogen is still in armor.
Actually, I will say Hans did change from his cold weather outfit to his noble's clothes for this.
All right, yeah, that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. Ah,
What?
you're not going to dinner like that.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I am not. Is the maid there?
Yes.
Do you happen to have any? Would you know if would be able to would have any clothes around here she could loan to Imogen here?
Yes, sir. I'm sure we could get something. She says, eyeing Imogen with some slight fear in her eyes.
Okay, so like 20 minutes later, she exits the
She
room.
doesn't
She is
complain.
she's like fine, like cause she it's for Hans. She doesn't know what noble things go on, and she doesn't want to embarrass him. It's like, okay, fine. And so she exits the room after having gotten dressed. She looks extraordinarily uncomfortable. I don't. What is she wearing?
They're actually pretty standard clothes. They actually managed to find something that works well with kind of like your furs. So it's kind of more just that you're not wearing armor as the or the direct underclothing. It's just slightly a step up better from that. It does include
Okay.
a skirt though.
She looks extraordinarily uncomfortable.
Shocking. If you had bothered to let her put on a little makeup, you might actually look something almost like a lady.
Imogen punches him.
Oh god.
She does not hold back.
Good.
she intends to harm.
Roll a
Roll
d4.
strength.
Give me an unarmed combat check.
How do what? Okay. Do I just roll strength? What do I do?
Just roll a just roll a melee attack.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Character sheet, attack.
There should just be a melee alt melee attack. That should be what you need to roll.
Just melee.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should say alt melee.
Oh, alt melee. I have alt ranged. I don't know if I have. Wait. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
The alt melee is the one that uses your dex. Yeah.
Ow.
Oh no!
Roll
I've
again.
broken I've broken his arm.
Roll again to confirm the crit.
Hang on, I closed my character sheet because I didn't actually see what it was. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry.
Dear.
No.
Okay, so you do not confirm the crit. Just give me a d4.
I just hit it really hard.
It is a hit.
Yeah.
What's
Just a d4. Just a d4.
okay?
I just want to see. It's a pretty solid. She clocks you pretty good in the shoulder.
All right, I deserve that.
Imogen gives you a look and an eyebrow raise like, yeah, you did, and walks down the hall, following whoever's leading them to the dining room.
All right.
To be perfectly honest, the way you act most of the time, I didn't think you would mind that much.
Imogen doesn't look behind her and just flashes a rude gesture to you.
You know, someone who's watched a lot of Downton Abbey, I'm just imagining the downstairs conversations that are currently happening.
Yeah.
After all these things are being seen by the servants. She's no lady. She's a high huntress. We've got a different kind of requirement for ladyship. Those Aristilians, foreigners, stuff like that.
She actually dared to hit her employers.
I saw her straight on clock the Baron. It was playful. It wasn't. I saw it. I've seen a punch thrown. It's a full-on punch. She meant it. Anyway, so you guys are taken to dinner. It is probably something that you guys have never had before. It is seafood.
Oh, okay.
Well, not probably seafood, but lake fish.
Oh.
Imogen eats it. She's like tentative at first, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know what Imogen's feeling is about fish, but it's pretty tasty with a nice sauce.
Ah,
That's quite nice.
all right.
So dinner conversations kept pretty nice and polite on more light topics.
Yay!
How's this doing in the thing? Oh, we've been having this. Oh, recently we've started this trade deal. Did you hear about such and such person? Oh, I understand that you haven't. Yes, I guess down that far down south, you're not really getting the gossip, stuff like that.
Yeah. Is dropped when the trade is brought up briefly, if Hans has any part in that. Mostly he'll mention that he's still trying to establish trade routes where he's at.
Right, and they discuss how they can help. It's brought up how they can help with that and stuff like that. So before retiring to the lounge for drinks, the dame does say, no, Pengunch, I believe you and I have some business to discuss before retiring to the lounge with everybody else.
Yes, that would probably be yes.
Yeah.
I believe
Imogen
now would
looks,
be I believe now would be an excellent time for that.
Imogen looks at you and then looks side to side as if to say, do you want me to go with
Not
you
going to
with
leave this
it?"
room engaged to someone else. So that's unfortunate.
What? I am so confused. Imogen just wanted to know if you wanted her to come with you, so that like if this was something that like
He'll
barony
motion.
stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys ahead. Are we going to a different room for this?
Yeah, you'll be going to her study.
All right.
Okay. If you could let Napkip know where I am and just ask him to patrol the hall outside. That would be appreciated. Thank you.
Okay. I do that, just that, and since this conversation is not going to include me, I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick.
Sounds good. So you guys.
When she leaves, he tells Dame Lebeda. It's like, he's a bit of a nervous sort. He'll need something to do. I hope you don't mind.
She goes, no, no, not at all. We've been pre-informed of your of the alliance that you that you have made with his kind down south. Very interesting strategy, that.
Yes, well, this one is in particular is beholden specifically to me, so he does not like leaving me alone.
Yes, as far as I've heard, he's the first kobold probably ever knighted in the history of Brevoy. Possibly the first kobold ever knighted ever. He must be quite an exceptional young man to be worthy of such a position.
Yes, he's proved his worth before, and he's continuing to prove it now in his current capacity.
Good. She goes, I'm glad you have that you have managed to find somebody so capable.
As am I.
Here we go. She unlocks unlocks her study. She begins pulling out. She mentions to a seat on the other side of the desk for you to sit down. She begins pulling out a few papers and laying them down. And
hey, no.
well,
Sorry.
that is what she does.
Sorry, Meeper was about to play around with my mouse.
That's ironic.
Yeah, so she begins talking about, some trade route stuff. Because I'm assuming she knows about the gold at this point, because that's the entire reason you're up here, is to actually figure out exactly how to best handle that situation.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I think if your guards were to go to here, we'd be able, if you can manage to handle the road up into this point during the Transforce, we could hold it off here, and then by doing thus and such and thus and a thing, she is very talented at her work.
Yeah, Hans brings up the potential for some silver, but he makes sure to stress that he has doubts as to whether or not there's any left.
She goes, all right, I will keep that in mind. But to be honest, I imagine we can do a lot of good business with this new influx of gold. I mean, it's literally gold.
Yes, it should be quite. Yes, it should be quite useful.
And besides its normal uses, I've managed, fortunately, thanks to our relatively still relationship with the crown, I've managed to secure a rather large treaty for them for the purpose of new coinage.
Oh, most excellent.
Yes, though I'm sure you can imagine things are a bit more strained with the crown than they have been for our house. Though unfortunately, trade is still trade, and the witch hasn't managed to get her hands on that yet.
I don't have to imagine much.
No, I doubt. She goes. I doubt that there is no problem with us speaking freely about my dislike.
Dislike of what?
My dislike of the Lady Sartova.
Certainly. Yeah. You may feel free to say what you will.
Well, she goes. She goes. Both with your personal history and with your family's history, I'm sure that our disdain for her and her actions are something that we could bond over.
Oh boy. Has she mistreated you?
She goes. She mistreated my daughter. That's worse. Again, I am in your debt for everything that you've done.
Well, you are most welcome for that. It's like, yeah, you'll forgive. Yes, you'll forgive me some slight. Yeah, you'll forgive me some slight. You'll forgive me some slight care with my words. I do not wish to say anything. I shouldn't.
No. She goes. She goes. I understand, though. She goes. Well, she goes. While my disdain for her ladyship is in particular, we are rather quite close with the crown, and that is a relationship that it seems that we have been on two different sides of when it comes to the Sartovas.
Yes. Traditionally, we have been quite opposed for the most part, it would seem. I'm afraid our families have not historically liked each other very much.
It is true, but perhaps this could be the start of mending some fences.
I certainly hope so.
She goes. I hope you do not mind me saying that that our original intentions as to Lena's matrimony were not hidden, and you were not my first choice. That you were not my first choice, but
It was even your 10th.
no. But you have saved my daughter's life twice, and that has earned you an extremely high amount of respect in my eyes. I want you to know that. So much so that I do agree to your union without many reservations.
In which case, I retract my response about my particularly rude response regarding your list of eligible bachelors.
She goes, no, it is fine. I prefer to be She goes, there's a time for duplicity and there's a time for being frank and open. And I believe family is somebody who you're supposed to be frank and open with. And I hope that is that we could enjoy that sort of relations, Hans.
Yes, I hope. I am indeed hoping for this as well, and have been looking forward to it.
That she goes. That is quite good to hear.
Thank you very much for. Thank you very much for your blessing. I was not quite sure how to broach that subject, particularly while we were discussing business.
She goes, it is fine. She goes on a political movement. From everything I've heard of what you managed to accomplish in your short amount of time, the risk is more than worth it. Especially with your apparent abundance of new natural resources. It seems that you will be able to grow rather rapidly, and that the alliance will be of a political benefit to us. And again, on a personal matter, you have saved my daughter's life twice. Those are... So... she goes, while I do worry about certain loyalties to your house, which is understandable, I will put them aside because I trust that no matter what, if you protected my daughter when she was a stranger, you will do even more when she is your wife.
Of course. And of course, I do, and yeah. Of course, alliances, I shall endeavor to make sure that no ill comes of any bad blood or unhappy people.
Good. Good. I'm glad.
I may inquire how. Yeah. Just. How is the situation in the nation as a whole?
Well, she goes, there are quite a number of rumors of House Orlovsky mounting a succession with a number of the other Islanian houses, but those have been going on for years. Your family's refusal to acknowledge the Saturvas as rulers has been at the heart of that.
Yes.
And I would, she goes, and I would rather not see things going for war, not only because violence, but also, violence, kingdom would be bad for us, but it also, our house has made its power on trade. Trade does not do well during a war.
It would, well, not necessarily. An army marches on its stomach after all.
She goes, it's true, but my lines of influence, my mercantile influence is all throughout the nation, and even to some of the neighboring kingdoms. To lose quite a large swath of land, I'm sure, to be able to trade with would be unfortunate. Though there would be some profit to be made from wartime, and I have tried to start fearing some of our capital into that direction, just in case that is the eventuality.
Merely of profits. Any war is fought with resources in mind. Armies need supply chains to accompany them. people that have experience with supplies and moving them and keeping things going are invaluable in situations like that.
She goes, it's true though. Though I have again to lose the stone trade from the grass, or the forest trade, or the wood trade from the Medvedids would be quite unfortunate.
Indeed.
She goes, and even some of the materials that we trade from the Lavakians would be lost.
Oh yes.
I mean, she goes, if we are to be cut off, frankly, my hope is that nothing happens. So if it does, I would prefer if the I would prefer if the I would prefer if the crown merely let the split happen, but I doubt that they'll wish that to happen, and I believe it is not. She goes, I believe I've lost nothing in betrayal by saying that we would side with them. There's a long, strong cultural history between us, even with the quite recent upset. Ever since your engagement was known, our relationships with the crown have gotten much better again.
Oh?
It seems that the jealousy or fear of losing her power was the main driving of her ladyship's actions, and now, with her belief that Elena is no longer a threat to her, our family is no longer a threat, and she is and it seems that she has started concentrating on other things rather than pushing lies about us into the king's ear. And to be fair, even if secession was to happen, and the choice to join with successions were to happen, I doubt that they would have us anyway.
I doubt. Yes.
So it seems as though our position has been played out and chosen for us, unfortunately.
Well, we'll just have to pick a path. We'll just have to go along our paths when it comes to it.
It's true.
Yeah. It is comforting to hear that that Lady Sertova is in a much better mood.
It is true. Also, you will be happy to know that the rumors have died down for Orlovsky being the one responsible for the attack that happened.
I can't imagine why.
Yes, I do. I have. She goes, I have actually heard that did quite put quite a bonnet into her lady. That did quite put a bee into her ladyship's bonnet, which has brought me no end of amusement. Yes,
She could be quite an amusing person.
It's true. And it now seems that the rumors are that the Rogavians long ago released some of these swine, and that now it has fallen on the Sertova's lack of ability to take care and properly maintain the roads.
Intriguing.
It is. I again have to admit that it is quite entertaining to me, the twist of fortune there.
Well, so long as I understand we're not 100% family yet, so permission to be frank about it.
She nods her head.
Your entertainment, yeah. What you take for entertainment gives me reason to be extremely cautious.
Oh,
When people who have power like that are upset, it's hard to predict what they'll do.
she goes, no doubt, but she goes, no doubt, and I've made precautions in the area, but that doesn't allow me a certain pleasure in the circumstances as they currently are.
Then I shan't deprive you of it by speaking of it any longer.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I have taken up enough of your time, and I am sure that you have much to and it seems that the business is settled, so we should return and rejoin the rest of the party. You are here for a few more days, and we can iron out the final bits of details then.
Of course.
And you rejoin the rest of the party in the lounge. Imogen.
She is muted.
Yes.
The young lord seems to be fascinated about your work and constantly asks questions about the things you do.
How old is this young lord?
He's a teenager.
Yeah, about 15-ish.
Oh yeah.
Imogen is very confused and answers his questions, but she's on guard.
What do you do? I kill things.
Tell me everything about this.
I see a bandit. I kill him. I see a murder. I kill him.
How? Give me details.
Imogen is like, she like tells him like, she does not want to talk to this person. Story of Imogen's life. I don't want to talk to this person. She like tells him about like the stuff with the Stag Lord and stuff, and
he is enraptured with
down.
every single word.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear.
And there are several cringeworthy attempts where he tries to impress you by telling him about how good of a swordsman he is.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh very dear. Okay. So she humors him a bit and just like keeps telling him about stuff, and like it's like she really wants to make a good impression on Han or Elena's family for Hans, so she's like
trying. She's actually putting forth the effort.
She's putting forth effort. Yes.
All right. The doors opened and Hans and the dame reemerge.
Imogen's like, oh, thank Aristotle.
You hear her she walks over and goes she goes, well, she goes, Lander, I'm sure you've more than talked off her ladyship's ear for the night. And it is probably, and I'm sure that she is tired and wishes to would probably wish to retire for the night, as you should as well. In fact, the business that we have placed has made me quite tired as well. Not so subtly getting Hans and Elena alone.
Yes.
Imogen makes the same motions that she did when they got here to Hans, like act like you like her.
Have a pleasant rest.
Imogen gives Hans a stern look and continues and just goes back to her room.
Hi, Elena says.
I thought she was I thought she was just going to be good at subtle things. That was terrible.
She goes, she puts in the effort when she wants to.
Ah, okay. I see.
Also, she goes, also, if anything is told me, when it comes to matters of state, she's much better than, she's much better than when it comes to personal matters.
Ah, I see. I won't find her listening at the door, will I?
She goes, not unless you gave her a good reason to when two of you talked alone.
Don't think so.
Good.
Suffice to say, it was mostly business.
Good. I'm. She goes, I would be surprised if it was all business, though. How'd it go?
Extremely well. She seemed, yeah, she said that she was extremely grateful for the part I played in saving your life. Okay, that's my paraphrase. She actually said she was grateful for me saving your life. Had earned her respect, and she was willing to give her blessing to the marriage.
Good. She told me that she did.
Excellent.
But she wanted to tell you in person.
Good.
With my she goes, with my father. No longer around. Her blessing does make things much easier.
I must confess I was put on edge at one point. Does your mother not think fondly of whatever her name is?
The queen. Natala Sertova? That person?
Yes, not think well of not think well of her ladyship Natala.
Whatever gave you that idea?
She goes, she does not take attacks on her children well. I believe the phrase to best put it would be Mother Grizzly.
Well, praise for Rasma. I thought for a moment I might have been involved. I might have been caught in a trap or some sort.
No, she goes, oh no. She has no love for her ladyship. After the events that transpired.
Oh, well, that's made me relax quite a bit. So things have been going well, I take it?
She goes, as well as, yeah, she goes, as well as can be expected. Nothing that I haven't told you about in our letters.
That is good to hear. Oh, dear. Was Imogen behaving herself?
She goes, as far as I could tell, she handled my brother quite well. He can be a bit much, but tales of violence are pretty easy to entertain with, as pretty much any boy is at that age.
Oh, good. I was a bit... When we came out for dinner, she honestly was ready to go in her armor.
Sorry.
I mean, looking at it now, I mean, looking at it now, of course, as she herself said, if we're going to be family, we might as well be frank with each other, and that's about as frank as Imogen gets.
I never. She goes. She goes. Pardon me, but I never for a moment doubted that frankness was an area in which Imogen came up short.
Well, she's trying really hard. Her most recent tactic is to just not speak. Oh, dear. Seems like...
Oh.
Yeah. Seems like business has been settled. And
yeah.
now all that remains is to finish some final work, some final documentation on that, and continue mingling for a bit.
Good. There she goes. Then I can have your ear on some of the wedding plans we promised to discuss.
Yeah. Yes. I was.
And that conversation happens. That was my transition too.
Let's see. Yes.
I think the only thing of note is she brings up that she understands that you'll probably be having a Pharasmian wedding, but she doesn't want to include some Abadarian traditions.
Perfectly fine.
All right. So that happens, and you guys and then you guys are there for a few more days. Nothing too untoward happens.
Too untoward.
I mean, Imogen's there, so.
Oh, good lord.
But no, things pretty much keep going as in the small snippet that we have seen.
Yeah.
So a few days later, you guys return back home.
Yay.
All right.
Imogen gives you a look like, did you act like you liked her?
Brett gazes.
What was that?
Does not interpret gazes. Although, no, to be fair, I did put a bunch of points in sense motive recently. I was just going to ignore it, but it's like, you know what? No, I purposely upgraded that. Let me just see if I... Let me see, do I... Nope, I don't... That's... Nope.
I mean, that's actually like an easy difficulty pass. So, and I feel like Imogen is not being subtle with her hints. So at the very least, you definitely get the gist that she's trying to be like, did you do a thing? And you're like, what thing?
You know what thing? Imogen glares at you. Were you nice? Eyebrow raise.
I was definitely nice. I don't know about a raise.
Well, why not?
Job to do or something.
Imogen flings a hand up at him and goes off and does what she does.
can't believe I never considered before the distinct advantages of being able to order someone around.
All right. So you guys.
Have your shot.
She throws up another rude gesture.
No, I specifically made sure you couldn't hear me.
My perception is out the wazoo.
Ugh.
All right. So you guys have the. So just a thing that I imagine is happening in my head, which I don't know if it is. I imagined in part of the letter correspondence that was happening. Elena and Hans started playing a game of chess over the mail.
Yes. Perfectly fine with that. I like chess.
So I imagine in some of their downtime, they also played a few games in person.
Really.
And some backgammon?
Sure, why not?
Okay. All right, so Kuthona. Kathana.
Cthulhu?
Yes.
The final month of the year happens.
Aha!
All right, so now is the point where we move to the kingdom stuff.
Yay!
Let me open up the
Alright, so we have the
turnover
upkeep.
rules. So we have upkeep. So Caleb, I need you to make me that stability check.
Here we go again. Haley, you get to see this roll.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so the DC is the command DC, which is 23 right now.
Oh, my.
You pass.
You rolled a 6. And you got a 27.
They're really stable. They basically ones were the only way that they were actually losing that thing.
Yeah.
Wait, your size should actually be 4. Oops. Apparently that didn't get updated. You have 4 tiles.
Okay, so that's a little higher.
You still pass it.
Alright, consumption is removed, so...
Yeah, sorry, I am double checking to make sure that the size is what it should be. Because I can't remember whether it's supposed to include... Size includes how many city districts you have. The number of hexes you're continuing runs and... Okay, so yeah, it's just the number of hexes you control. So you control 4 hexes, so that's your size.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, so consumption, which is 2.
You have it was 28 before. I've taken it down to 26. Haley, your mic is buzzing.
Uh-oh. Did it stop for those few seconds?
Yes.
Okay. Gonna try to...
Anyway, Paul Haley fiddles with the mic. Fill vacant magic item slots.
Yeah.
You guys have a minor vacant magic item slot.
Let me know if and when it stops.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yay!
All right. Let me go generate what magic item you guys have. Nope, that is not the PRD.
Whoops. I heard myself echo.
Magic items. Found it. All right. Oh, these are D100 rolls, not D20 rolls. Ooh.
Yeah, last time we had an item that sold for like 3 to 5 BP, I think it was.
It was 3.
By one because it happened to be a really freaking good roll.
Yeah, I was like, this would be more expensive. All right. This time it is just a first level magic scroll.
Cool. And then there is no unrest, so that's good.
This is true.
All right. Star.
So, level 1 magic scroll does not nearly sell anywhere close to the price of 4,000 of like 8,000 or 4,000 BP. So, I'm just going to say that you don't generate an item that can sell for large amounts of money this round.
Okay.
If you want to buy the magic scroll, you are free, but unfortunately you don't nothing is produced that is of high quality. Improvement phase. There are no leadership positions to swap or fill yet. We'll take care of that next month when Haley's character arrives.
Hey.
Do you guys want to claim a new hex?
Yes.
You sure?
Why wouldn't we?
To build up our town so we can better roll.
Oh, are we low on funds?
We started at 40. We still have more than half. No, I was just thinking one reason not to expand is to build up our economy and loyalty to make sure that going as low as possible on the DC. I'm fine with still expanding. I'm just thinking that eventually we should stop and develop our city a bit.
Okay, we can do that.
All right. I assume you guys are continuing to heading towards the Stag Fort, or do you want to claim the scale mines?
Wait, are we or aren't we?
We can expand this turn. Because the silver mine is literally right there, so might as well.
Okay.
Ding. All right, so that costs 1 BP. And so if you take care of that, I will increase your kingdom size to 5.
Okay.
All right. Don't want to abandon any hexes. I'm assuming you don't want to create any city districts. Roads. Do you want to build a road to your new mine?
We can still build buildings, right?
Ye-
We can build buildings anyway.
Yeah, we skipped the build buildings phase there.
we did? I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Yep, that is step 3. I missed that. I just saw prepare land for city districts, and I was okay. Yep. So you guys can choose a building. You can build a building. Whoop. Whoop. What building do you wish to build? And Haley, I shared you a folder. We have all this information I put onto Google Docs. So, if you
Oh, is that what that?
yeah, if you follow the Google Docs link.
Dear, I'm logged in as Hannah.
What's our budget, Kay?
we currently have 25 BP.
I know, but what's our budget? Meaning, what's the maximum amount that you're willing to spend?
Up to 10.
Okay.
Absolutely necessary.
Okay.
Library right now.
Are you sure? You guys should buy a noble villa. It's 20. It's
That sounds expensive.
It is. It's 24
very
BP.
expensive.
I was being silly.
No.
Wow.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna look for something that we can boost our economy with.
All right. Well, the houses are the things that boost economy.
Let's see.
Okay, not that.
Not the Caster's Tower.
Probably not the Alchemist.
We did the graveyard last time.
And we already have one graveyard. We're not
We have
turning
an
this into
inn.
an necropolis.
If you build another, wow, if you build another house, you can build a black market.
No, we can't actually. That's 50 BP.
Oh, yeah, that is. Wow, I misread that.
No.
You could build a brothel.
How about a mill? No, we can't build a mill. We don't have a river next to anything.
You have the inn. Libraries are pretty cheap and boost up economy. You probably don't want to buy
And
the luxury
loyalty.
store. A smithy is also the same price.
There's a tannery also.
Huh.
There's tavern, but that's 12 BP.
And then finally there's tradesmen.
Oh yeah, tradesman's good. It's almost as good as tavern, except it's 10 BP. It adds to stability instead of loyalty, as well as economy and city base value, and that's 10 BP.
Hang on just a second. I think a tradesman might be good.
Yeah.
All right. Tradesman it is. Where do you want to place it?
I want to place it.
Must be adjacent to a house.
Okay, so there's the 4 that are left around it. Or I guess I don't know.
Yeah, the 5.
Across the street counts as adjacent, right?
It does. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the
All
streets.
6 of them.
Yeah, the streets aren't actually
So we've
normally this big if you look at the actual sheet that they have.
Yeah.
Just in my model they are.
So here,
Yeah. Those 6 spaces.
Which one do you want to put it at?
Let's do right here. Here. I can't do the thing.
hold down the left click. There you go.
There we go.
Boom. All right. So Caleb, if you would like to remove the 10 BP from your thing.
He is on top of that.
Sweet. All right. I will update your city. So that was placed at B3.
Okay.
Takes up 1 city block. It gives you a 1 bonus economy. Does not increase your loyalty at all. Increases your stability by 1. Does not increase your unrest. Bonus, and it does add money though, doesn't it? I believe it adds 500 to your.
Yeah.
100.
And adds nothing to defense. Okay. All right, and you also have another resource space, which I forgot to add because you got the silver mine. You claimed the silver mine. Okay, so that is city improvement phase.
Okay.
Back to the main map.
Okay, so do we roll the things?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I think we will build a road and another farmland.
Yeah, that's always useful.
Okay. I will copy.
See,
and
we are now down to 10 BP. Probably around this point where we want to look inward for a little bit.
Yep.
The more we expand, the more consumption we have, the more BP we should have.
But the more farms we have, the more potatoes we have.
All right, so if you would like to front. All right, so if you would like to minus the
Already did.
1 BP, do you want increase the number of roads that you have?
I have not done that. Let me roads. There they are.
All right.
5 roads.
All right, and I assume that you want to. So this is another hill space. So this will cost another 4 BP to build to build more farms. But I assume you want to do that.
Already did that.
All right.
I have added the farm. I've subtracted the BP.
Doop.
I am helping to save time. Maybe.
Yay! Good job. Do you wish to adjust your edicts level at all?
I don't think so.
Okay. Income phase. I assume still no one can make a deposit. You don't want to make any withdraw. You do not have any valuable items to sell. All right, let's see if you can generate that income.
Yay. Oh, we can.
Did you include the +3 from Chief Soot Scale? Because the Spy Master you choose every time. So is that
Right, Spymaster.
so that's a 35?
7 BP.
Yeah. Your newfound trade deals are working out splendidly for your kingdom. Especially considering you're in the middle of winter, so your farms are you're managing
We
to
have 2 mines also, so there's that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're managing to even though you are building in the middle of winter, which would be extremely difficult, and flavor-wise would be costing you more money, your mines are doing so well that you're managing to subsidize all of that.
Yeah, it's like Harvest
Okay.
Moon. It's winter, so you don't farm, you mine.
All right, and then event phase. Okay, no event happens.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll be 1 second. I need to use the bathroom, and then I'll be right back.
Right.
And then when he's back, an event happens.
Oh no.
No, it's just Haley arriving.
Well, yeah, that.
Oh yeah, that event.
Yeah, you forgot you were playing this game. Didn't you?
Yeah.
You thought you were just listening to the fun stories and
Well, I mean-
and uncomfortable situations happening.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what life has been. When I hear these voices.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on, at
sad.
least.
I am back, and I'm
Yes.
still going to partake beyond
Hey.
Yes.
random chuckles.
All right,
Yay.
I am back. So
He's back.
you guys celebrate the new year.
Do we have
Woot.
fireworks?
Do we have fireworks?
There are
Hans?
fireworks.
Yay! Does Hans get drunk?
No, he does not.
Okay, good.
If anything, Hans gets more sober.
He gets more sober
I
than
imagine
he usually is.
I imagine that Hans is literally just sitting in his office, like with like the window open, a full winter moon above, and like the fireworks are going off in the background. He's still just slaving away at paperwork over candlelight. Okay, so a few days after the new year, Hans, you have a visitor.
Okay.
It's your wife. What?
Yeah.
You are informed that the lady and fate mother, Ankara Grydal, has arrived.
Oh, good. Good. Send her in
All right.
when she's available.
Not long after that, she is shown in. She is a woman, wearing
No, it's not shonen. We've gone through this.
wearing full metal armor. She has brown hair and brown eyes. And Haley, you can take over describing what she looks like besides that.
Okay. Well, I forgot that I would be in full armor, so Let me just rethink this for a second.
Oh, you don't have to be in full armor if you don't want to be. I just assumed that you would show up that way. I mean, it makes sense that if you were traveling for a long period of time, you wouldn't be wearing armor. So if you want to be wearing more normal clothes, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, in that case, she is wearing somewhat nice-looking clothes. Well kept, though perhaps a little old-fashioned. As I mean, I don't know how quickly things go out of fashion in this time, but you know, they just look a little old. And if you're I don't know. Anyways, you notice a small black rose in her coat pocket. And she walks in up to your desk. Are you at your desk?
Yes.
Always.
She walks up to your desk and gives a bow and introduces herself.
Yeah, Hans will stand up to you as well.
Okay. Are you a sir? Is that your technical, or baron? You're a baron, aren't you?
Yeah, so Baron or Lord would be a proper way of greeting.
Great. Now, better question. How do you pronounce this last name?
Gunch.
Oi.
Help.
What was that?
Robin's instructing me on how to pronounce letters with umlauts. So.
You did call for help.
It's okay. So the reason you pronounce like things. Okay, so when you write it without an umlaut, it's written UE, and the reason you normally pronounce it like an I is because when you use an umlaut over a U, you make your lips like you're gonna say U, but you make your teeth like you're gonna say an E. That's why it's UE. So then it's like Bietner, and it ends up sounding more like an I sound.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. You have explained what my teacher was trying to get us to pronounce the entire semester. So now that I know how to form that sound, I might actually be able to pronounce it.
Yeah, so it's like Bietner or Ginch.
Gunch.
Ginch.
Two. Anyways, Gunch.
Or you can just say Gunch. It's fine.
Gunch. Okay.
Okay.
I feel happy and
Yay!
elated.
Language.
Yes. How to form your mouth. Anyways, back to business. Baron Gunch. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I am Ankara Kriegdal. Sorry, Krydal. Totally missed that.
Everyone has terrible names. What now?
Yeah. It is a great honor to meet a Fate Mother face to face.
The honor is mine.
What you are looking at is
Oh, yes.
a man who
Looks like he has never seen the sun one day in his life.
is very unnaturally pale. Those faces where you start thinking, wow, it's a shame he has whatever illness he does. Otherwise, because he looks decent now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So sickly but attractive.
So vampire.
That's what I'm pointing at.
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot her face. So she has a face. And not entirely sure, yes. Not entirely sure what her face looks like, but like she has slightly tanned skin. And but mostly like her countenance is somewhat solemn, but she has somewhat bright eyes. I know that doesn't describe how she actually looks very much, but it's the idea that's in my head.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyways, the honor is mine. My family has instructed me to come here in order to aid your quest. Or
Yes.
adventures.
Yes, your assistance will be much needed and appreciated, I'm sure. Have you any experience at all in diplomatic matters?
Well, as a matter of fact, yes.
I may or may not have made my character decision.
All
I
right.
may or may not have a diplomacy of 15.
All right, excellent. You're hired. Well, all right, I say that, but you will have to meet the other members of the council first. Our the man currently holding our official head diplomat position is rather keen to get back to his normal life.
I see.
East will be very grateful you've arrived, and I don't imagine anyone else having anything against you taking up the position. Have you been with the church long?
Several years, yes.
I did not think about this question.
Is this another Pharasmian?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere!
Well, it was more for convenience because this all was decided recently.
Yeah.
Like a death day party.
That's that's good to hear. I myself am quite devout within the faith. I never church organizations, but I do but I do make sure to follow the precepts as closely as I am able. Have you been able to see our church yet?
Do we actually have one?
We have a place of meeting, and we have a graveyard.
No, I have not had that pleasure yet.
So yeah,
Very
you,
well,
you probably have a church. I wouldn't say that you have a
Graveyard? Uh-oh.
No, you have a graveyard. I was saying you don't have temple is the level. Yeah, you don't have a temple, but you have a church.
we have like a tent.
No, you have a permanent building. It's a church.
It's just not a grand place of meeting that actually gives us any mechanical bonuses.
Exactly. It's been a year. You've
Um,
managed to actually get a church together.
Here,
No, sorry, it's not. It's been 9 months. 6 months.
Well, hang on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's been a few months.
It's been about 6 months.
Wait. So actually, I hope you have a place for the graveyard.
Yes, we
Because I got some things to put in it. What?
No, I was thinking, I hope it's not like filled.
No, the graveyard is actually a building we could make for the city. It gives us +1 economy, +1 loyalty. It was really cheap and didn't need to be next to a house.
And we figured it could double as a shrine of Pharasma, because, stuff.
Yep.
All right, so. All right, yes, I must. All right, yes, you must. Of course, you must visit there, I'm sure. My cousin is currently helping run the place. Yeah. Let's see. Her name is Lucy, and I describe her to Kara. Because I say that because I'm having
She has
trouble
a
finding
picture.
the. Yes, she has a picture.
I have a picture.
Badoom.
Right there.
Oh, she's so cute.
And heartbroken currently.
Oh no! Wait,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Remind me again of why she's heartbroken.
She had it because she had a huge crush on Hans.
Oh right, the cousin. That's right. She had a thing. Oh, poor Lucy.
So, yeah. Uh, but yes. Yes, currently my cousin is helping to run it, so I'm sure you'll be well taken care of there.
I nod my head. I appreciate it.
So have you killed many? So have you killed many undead?
Have you? I was just going to say. Have you? I was just going to say. Have you killed many vampires?
Well, a few that were in the area where my family is currently
Did you kill any vampires?
residing.
It's like, oh really? Such as?
Mm. The typical undead creatures brought back from the other world from some soul who decides he wants to try his hand at necromancy. Every now and then we find those blood-sucking vermin in the area.
Oh!
Did you just say you lived again?
Where do I live again?
From the original or Vlaskian around Eagle's Reach.
Okay, but really those ones are extremely few in number.
Watch, sorry, it's Eagle's Watch. I keep on calling it Eagle's Reach, but it's Eagle's Watch.
The eye of the eagle.
I am quite pleased that lately I have had opportunity down here to slay a few of those creatures myself. There was one in particular who seemed to be attempting to make. There was a mite down here in particular who seemed to be attempting to make himself a lich.
I raise my eyebrows. A
just-
mite attempting to become a lich. Well, that's not one I've heard of before.
Well, something. His understanding of it. They were, yeah, they had formed some sort of connection with Ergathoa.
Her
and as-
eyes narrow.
Result, he had quite a command of necromantic powers. He and his kind, he and his people and his kind are no more.
They're all dead.
Good.
Yes, and there was also that one creature down by Nettle's Crossing. But I'm sure I'm keeping you. We'll have time to talk of other such things later.
I suppose so.
I'm glad to have you here.
I am honored. Would she know the direction she's going to go walk in to find her lodging for the night? I forget if you said which direction it was.
Nope, I didn't. He got very distracted.
By mentioning...
No, he is extremely giddy that he actually has a Paladin of Pharasma actually there to help out. So he's completely forgotten that.
Hans, giddy.
This is scary.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, I
Right.
think Imogen's going to come galloping in on Borvo.
Leave
Into
him
town.
outside, you're scaring Gregory.
No, not in the thing! In the town! Outpost, what have you?
You just said you come galloping in.
Well,
Borvo and I come galloping into town. You know, like Huntress Imogen went to town riding on a Borvo.
So what's yeah. So did she ask Hans where her lodgings were? Did she leave and realize that was never discussed?
Oh, she realized it was never discussed. So I get directions, and I dismiss myself.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, my
You get run over by a
apology.
bear. No.
Sorry, my apologies. You'll want to go this way in directions.
I give my thanks. I take my
Yes.
leave. I walk over to my new housing.
And then you get run over by the bear.
It happens. So, shall I meet Imogen on my way out?
I mean, sure.
May as well,
I see some schmuck that I didn't recognize.
Maybe that's it. Yeah.
And oh yeah, what am I? Oh, I forgot to mention what
And
colors
I
I was
us-
wearing. The
Have
it's kind
three-
of-
Yeah, we've gathered 3,000 people here in almost half a year. There are many people you have not recognized.
Aww.
well, I have fancy clothes.
Yeah, she's noble-ish, and I'm like, I didn't think we were hosting anyone this week or this month or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't think some kingly type person was coming into our city again.
Blue blood coming in here again.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel extremely uneasy because I'm not the person that's supposed to be doing these things. So I just kind of just put on my high huntress air, I guess, whatever, and ride up to her with my Aristilian helm, which is the stag lord helm, and just like in full furs because it's still winter at this point.
Mm.
And I say, do you need any help or anything?
I
I'm
look
just
up
riding in up to you on the bear.
on the bear.
On the bear.
I'm leading a pack horse with me, and
Borvo sniffs the horse.
I don't know how a horse would react to that.
He's not hostile, he's just sniffing.
Yeah. So I look up and respond, "No, thank you. I believe I have it."
It's like, and she's like, okay, rides away.
My character's left there, like mouth half open, about to speak more. Okay.
Well, you said you didn't need any houses, and you're boy. That's how this works, right?
I guess.
Oh dear.
Okay, so I just keep on making my way over to the end. Or the place that I'm going to.
You know what? Imogen's gonna like ride around to the back end, like the window to Hans's. You know what? No, she's just gonna go in the front door and like and walk past his secretary again.
Chomping it with his muddy boots.
Yeah, I
Or
just
muddy
my boots have like snow on them.
puts the
And
elf
I
helm
just-
on the secretary's desk.
And I just stride into Hans's office as usual. And I say, "So who's the noble?"
Can I just
What's
ask a
noble?
quick question?
Sure.
Does Imogen have crazy large hair?
No, she does not.
Just does she have
Her-
crazy hair?
No, she doesn't have crazy hair. She's
Oh.
just she has art as well on her character sheet bit.
Oh yeah,
Um
I can see that more easily now.
that's what she looks like without her stag helm on.
Okay, nice.
Okay. So so she strides in and is like, "So who's the noble?" And you're like, "What noble?" And I'm like, "There was a noble right outside your house."
Look, I was wearing faded black if you want to use the clothes. Clothes color, that is.
No. Notice anyone?
She came out your house.
Oh, you mean the?
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. I totally forgot to mention. I am of a noble family.
Oh, that's important.
That's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
What house?
Oh, you mean the?
Cradle?
Orvlovsky.
Orvlovsky.
Oh, you are. Okay.
I'm Polish. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you're like Hans. You're kind of like a sub house of Orlovsky.
Yeah,
Yep.
almost like a sub house.
Well, Kreidel is actually is her married name. So
Oh, that's
Ah.
right. What? We didn't put this together in 2 hours. What?
Ah!
Uh, yes. Oh, you must mean the. Oh, you must mean the Fate Mother. She just arrived. She's going out to get settled in. By the end of the week, I will be calling a meeting to properly introduce her to everyone. But you know, I completely forgot that she was of noble blood.
Imogen narrows her eyes at you.
I'm serious. No, I'm serious. I was so consumed by the fact that there was actually a Fate Mother here to help.
You keep
To help
saying
out.
that. What is that?
The Holy Knight of Pharasma.
Okay.
You know what you do for Aristil? Imagine there's someone who does that for Pharasma as well.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
Except they follow Pharasma, the beliefs of the Church of Pharasma, not the Church of Aristil.
Right.
So closer to what I do than what you do.
Oh, so like she makes some like gestures with her hands that's like, oh, spoopiness.
It's like that. Yes, that. Bed. Yes, like I said, I'll be here to a meeting to introduce her to everyone and see. And I think of her. Honestly, I don't see any reason why not. Why she wouldn't be made our diplomat almost straight away, but wants to do this properly.
Well, if she's gonna be a diplomat, she should probably know everyone first, right?
Of course, that's the point of the meeting. All right. Is that all?
Yeah, pretty much. Imogen doesn't say bye, she just leaves.
Your way out. You're going to give poor Gregory an aneurysm.
she already did, sir.
What was that?
You hear him shouting in from the other room. She already did, sir.
Oh, blast.
Yeah.
Just take the rest of the day off, Gregory. I'll have someone come in and clean. It'll be ready, but it'll be done by tomorrow.
Get it? My gosh. Her
No.
She goes and finds a mop or a broom or something and like sweeps the snow and the melted whatever out the door.
Well, Gregory currently had the broom, so you just like walk up and like grab it out of
I
his
just
hands.
take it out of his hands and start doing it.
5-10 minutes later, after Imogen is left, I don't know why you put up with her, sir. No offense.
You know what? Honestly, neither do I. I think we just got so used to working together. I think we just got so used to working together. It's coming as second nature.
Cause she's damn good at what she does.
Yeah, goodness. Goodness, how terrifying do you think it would be that in a few months' time you actually get used to her behavior?
I have work to do.
I'll have a word with her, see if I can't get her to maintain some modicum of decorum.
Thank you.
What's that?
It's a type of fruit.
Oh, of course.
All
You
right.
to bring him food when you come in.
I just had a sudden thought, like,
I leave periodic gift baskets for him.
like how
Of fresh
terrifying
skills.
is Imogen's cooking skills?
Oh no. Does she have a craft skill at the moment?
She has a fletching skill.
All right, so smash cut to this meeting.
Cool.
Since the incident at your betrothed's abode, Imogen has since tried to get something to wear to these kinds of events. She still looks very uncomfortable.
You do realize you don't have to wear that in winter.
It's not unseasonal. It's just not what she's used to wearing.
It's just not her armor.
All right, everyone. Last month,
Chatter,
that-
chatter in the background. Chattering stops.
I mentioned last month that we were having someone sent to us to help us. Yes, this is Fate Mother Ankara Krydal.
Everyone gives you
my
gives you
patron.
nods of greeting.
Yes, my patron states that she is quite skilled in diplomacy. But I wanted to give each of you a chance to meet her before we officially decided on anything. So I suppose first I'll introduce you to everyone. Yes, this is. I'll just go down in order, shall I? Right, this is Svetlana Levitin.
That was confusing to me. This is
Svetlana.
Svetlana. Gotcha.
She has a picture
Not about
too.
her.
Svetlana Levitin.
Oh. Oh, yes.
Yes, she is. she and her husband used to run the trading post, or a trading post here. like this isn't a full-time job, but it's they run a trading.
Oh, it's quickly becoming a full-time job.
Yes, they run the trading post for a while. Although as of late, she's been acting more and more in line as my counselor. But and then this is her husband Oleg over here. He's currently acting treasurer.
Hello. Hello. They both greet you.
I nod my head.
All right, Keston Garrus. Officially he was captain of a small garrison force out here. I have asked him to stay on as general, which he has accepted.
Greetings, ma'am.
I respond, sorry, I have more of that medicine in my mouth.
Well then, Grand Diplomat, everyone. What? No.
Yes.
It's under my tongue and I have to let it dissolve, so I can't really speak informally. This is all out of character, okay?
Yeah.
Under the blanket if you want.
This is Joe Smith.
Out of character, I raise an eyebrow and wonder if you're starting what
I've
is it,
decided to
Mormon
use
movement?
I've decided to use that name because I'm tired of referring to him as unnamed NPC that you'll soon be replacing.
Gotcha.
You're like, dang it, he will have a name before he's gone. Thank you so much for coming.
Nathan Peter Christopher. NPC.
I like that.
I'm sorry, Christopherson.
Christopherson.
Okay. Jode Kavkin, our high priest. Officially, he is a priest of Aristil, but he works with the other priests on official religious matters.
I make a bit more of a respectful gesture towards him.
He returns in kind.
I don't know if Blair's there or not. He's kind of out in the wild for a lot of the time. So.
He's there.
Neat. That's convenient. This is Blair Lotveski. Yeah, yes, this is a
We're all
companion.
Polish here.
Yes, this was a companion. He was a companion when the land was being mapped out, and has agreed to stay, and has agreed to act as the magister for this region, helping with things of a more magical or fey nature.
Hello, it's good. It's good to make your acquaintance.
We are lucky to have someone. I can't do this. I will try though. We are lucky to have someone of your words, of your skill set to help us here.
Well, thank you.
Let's see. Obviously, you've already met Imogen. She told me all about that. She was the guide during that, and has been staying on as the marshal for the area.
I smile a bit more and nod and say, I am pleased to officially meet you.
Yes. No. Imogen nods and says, "Yes, I wasn't sure who you are when we first met."
I
We
raised
were.
my hold on. I raise my eyebrows a little and respond. The same goes for my. Oh, wait. Sorry. What did you say again?
I
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
sure of who you were when we met.
Oh yeah. Anyways, oh, I'm sorry. Jet lag.
Oh, it's fine.
Our position is mutual. She grins a little. But I look forward to working with you in the future.
Imogen nods again.
And over here we have our captain of the watch, Napkip.
That's Sir Napkip
Sir
Blackscale.
Yes, sorry. Sir Napkip Blackscale, forgive me, I'm a bit overly familiar. I've known him quite a while.
It is pleasure to meet you.
Her face goes from a typical, like, from looking pleasant and like, oh yes, I'm getting to know people, to slightly, like, taken aback. It's only minuscule, but for anyone who's watching her face much, like, they notice her just get a blank look on her face briefly, and then quickly make up and like get back to her normal demeanor. The pleasure is mine.
And our spy master, Chief Sootscale.
His name is now Rivera.
His name consists of
No,
completely R's.
his name is actually Sootscale. The rest of the kobolds have slowly taken on other last names.
Okay.
Ah.
Yes, yes, we are quite proud to have formed a friendship with the kobolds of the area, and are also quite pleased to have them thus. And these two in particular help us to establish and uphold the law in this area.
I look forward to learning more about your relationship and the ways of Sootscales.
Would he have another title besides Spy Master? That seems kind of head of intelligence.
I imagine that he's literally just still called Chief Sootscale. It's just Chief now means Spy Master. So
Got it.
everyone, if anyone else ever takes over the position, they're still going to be referred to as Chief.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh dear. Okay. Right, and then finally, this is our warden, Akiros. From what yes, I believe he also has had some religious ties. He has also had his religious ties, but at the moment, he is serving more in a martial role.
I see.
Hi.
I thank you for your services.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get on with this meeting.
Imogen.
That's why he's not the diplomat.
Imogen snorts and like.
I will note that kind of rude behavior is actually somewhat odd for Akiros. So there's something in particular that's causing him to act that way.
Oh dear. It's how similar our names are, isn't it? Akiros.
It's your hair. He's super jealous.
Yes, with good reason.
All right. Yes, we'll continue on. If any of you, yeah, to speak with. Hang on. Me? No, stop.
Never.
If any of you wish, yes. Naturally, she is here to, as I said, potentially fill the role of Grand Diplomat, and therefore, I wished each of you to at least meet her. If any of you wish to stay behind and speak with her, ask questions of her, please feel free to do so. I will speak with each of you later concerning that, and we'll come to a decision. If you could let me know either before you leave today or sometime later in the week if you need some time to decide.
Imogen looks-
Agreeing.
All right, very well. Now on to some more mundane things.
Business. All right. So, out of the NPCs, the only one who doesn't stay behind for any sort of meet and greet is Akiros.
Interesting.
Imogen goes up to Hans right before she leaves and says, "You got an okay from me."
All right, excellent. I wonder what's bothering him.
Imogen shrugs and walks out the door.
All right. Eventually, you get the confirmation vote from everybody. Oh.
Is that including Akiros? Did he give it like before he left, or did he just leave?
He eventually is like, he's like, if she's fine. Eventually, you get a message from him. Eventually, he just like shows up. He actually waits for Gregory to tell you that he's there, and he just pops his head in. He's like, I just popping in. If she's fine with you,
yeah,
fine with me.
One moment, if you may. If you could come in for a moment.
All right.
Yes, you seemed a bit troubled. You seemed a bit troubled last time we met. Is there a problem?
He goes, no, not really. A lot of my mind in the plate right now, so.
Is there any? Yeah. Are you happy doing what you're doing?
Yeah, it's fine.
Wish you were doing something else.
No.
Is there someone that's... Look, I'm kind of terrible at this.
I have just, a whole Holy Night thing just brings back bad memories. Okay. Not to be rude, sir.
I see. I shall.
I'll try to be more professional in the future.
Yes, I see. I'll try to be more mindful of that. I suppose I have been a bit overexcited about that.
Nah, it's fine. It's my thing. We good then?
Yes, I believe so.
Cool.
Well, thank you for your time and your service. It is greatly appreciated.
Yep. Thanks for having this conversation. And he walks out.
Hmm.
All right, so on to this month.
Whee!
All right, so Haley, to explain what's happening a little bit more, since you're now officially part of the team.
Yay!
So there are 4 phases that happen every single month to see what's going on in the kingdom and how it's behaving. There's the upkeep phase, improvement phase, income phase, and event phase. So in one of the here I can share you the file directly. I have a write out on exactly what happens during each one of these phases and in what order they happen. Which it's in that folder I shared you, but there's the exact document. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have to determine if the kingdom is stable. Oh, you guys you guys made the check last month, so you would get 1 extra BP. We forgot to do that. So you should be at 18 actually instead of 17. All right. So Caleb is then going to roll a stability check. If you look on the sheet what we have, which I'll put on the video, there is the total number of stability. He's going to roll that versus the command DC, which is and see if he can pass the check. 20s are always successes, 1s are always failures, no matter what.
Believe it or not, Joel,
Yeah.
I did actually add that BP in last round.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Yeah.
You are doing a good job of getting on top of that. All right. Your kingdom is super stable.
Yay!
Good.
Awesome.
So you do get an extra BP because all the unrest is great.
Yep.
So now we will subtract the consumption from the kingdom.
So there goes that 1 BP.
Yep. Yeah. So that
I forgot.
that's by their. Wait, is it actually or? Your kingdom size is 6 now. I thought.
Let me take a look. 1, 2,
no,
3,
it's 5.
4, 5.
It's 5, and you have 4 farms. All right. So your total consumption is only 1 because your farms are able to subsidize it pretty well. All right. Boop. All right. So, fill vacant magic slot item. So you have a vacant magic slot item. So now I am going to. So then I roll to see what shows up in that slot.
Hopefully it's good.
It is a potion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
A minor potion.
1 second.
Would that happen to be a potion of cure light wounds?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right. It is actually a very expensive potion.
Okay.
It's care for this so that you're constantly not having it, you would get a shipment of potions, so it's like an entire crate that you can sell.
It.
There we go. That's how we'll handle that flavorly. Here, it is actually potions of cure moderate wounds.
Ooh. Oh, that's expensive. Let's see.
Yes, they are.
All right.
Is Cure Moderate Wounds a second level spell? I thought it was a second level spell. Yeah, it's a second level spell. Alright, so you have that. Unrest. You do not have any unrest right now, but if you did, it would reduce down to 0.
Yeah.
Improvements phase. So we select leadership and fill or swap leadership positions. So, Mr. Nate
Nathan Peter Christopherson.
Christopoulos steps down,
Yes.
and Haley's character takes over as the Grand Diplomat.
Woo!
Intelligence or charisma?
Charisma.
Definitely charisma.
I figured. I just didn't want to assume.
Alright. Badoom. Alright, so you have... Let me see, that's... I forget, what is a... What does she actually give an exact bonus for again?
Ability?
Stability, yep. Your kingdom is super stable, guys. Super stable.
Literally right there. Yeah, our stability is actually higher than our command DC.
Yup. Alright. So the next thing that happens is if you guys want to claim any new hexes, you claim them now.
Let me take a look.
So this is the point where you guys talk about whether you want to take any over any new cities. All the places that have the little shield symbol, the coat of arms, those are places that are officially part of the kingdom, Haley. The roads are obviously roads. These farm buildings mean that things have been they've been turned into farm buildings.
Okay.
So you guys can spend 1 BP, which is your kingdom resource, or build points as they're called, and that allows you to claim a new hex, and it's considered part of your kingdom, which will increase your size, which makes your command DC more difficult and does a few other things.
All right, let's. I think we should probably hold off.
Does that say dead body? Let me zoom in here.
Yes.
Yes, it does. That is
Yeah.
a dead body.
Yeah, they found a cache.
Oh man.
There are many dead bodies on this map.
There was a bunch of dead people they found.
Yeah.
I only remember 2 of these.
All right, so hold on.
I feel like a bridge would be good.
A bridge would be good. I'm trying to portion it out as our BP. Because we started with 40. A few months later, we're down to 17.
I see.
So
You
a bridge would cost 2 gold, and then a farm would cost a further 4. So that's 6 down to 11.
Do
Kind
we
of
need to put a farm there right away, though?
2
Or is
just
that
because if we put a farm there, it means that okay, so every turn BP is consumed to represent our kingdom eating food.
Mhm.
If we spend 4 gold because it's hills, we can put a farm there, which decreases that BP by 2. So basically, it would be we're losing 1 BP a turn because people are eating our resources. If we build a farm, if we claim it and build a farm there, our consumption will be at 0.
Gotcha.
Less in the long run. We'd just be spending a lot to get there in the short.
Okay.
The reasoning with that. Is we might want to hold off on expanding to that bridge, at least for this turn, and just try getting a building to try and improve our.
Economy.
Yeah, I would say build. I would say probably build a library just so we get that economy and loyalty. Unless we already did that, but
Nope. All right. So you guys agree that you do not want to claim a hex this round?
Robin.
Yeah.
All right. I assume you do not want to make any more city districts.
No,
I don't think we can.
I mean,
not right now.
you can. It doesn't do much for you. All right. So you guys want to build new buildings. So there are a bunch of things.
Yeah, I was looking at the library specifically just because it does provide the boost to economy and loyalty, which are our lower stats.
So Haley, here is the next one. This is the doc that shows all the buildings, what they do, and how much they cost.
Yeah, so it has 3 tabs on the bottom. 1-block buildings are, they just take up 1 square on the board. 2 blocks, 2 squares, 4 blocks, an entire section.
Okay.
1 BP is equal to 4,000 gold. It's been condensed for purposes of kingdom building.
Yeah, and so the thing is that these aren't just buildings; they're the main feature of that section of the city. So there are actual housing districts that you build, which is this little symbol here. But like, for instance, this stables isn't just a stable; it's just that's the main building, but there are also houses all around it too.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, my turn to get up and go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So yeah, probably either a tavern or a library. I would. A library is 6, a tavern is 12, and really with a tavern, all we're paying for is an extra 500 city value.
Library's okay, yeah.
Am I still muted?
Nope. I think
Okay.
everyone is in agreement with that idea.
Okay, so 1 library. And that does not have to be next to any building.
Cool. Where do you want the libraries to go?
I don't know, maybe right there? What do you think, Robin?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Just so you know, that is considered adjacent to a house.
Oh, do we want to save that spot for things that need to be adjacent to houses?
yeah.
Okay.
So you just want to
Yeah.
move it there then? Or there. You want to put it there? You want to put it there?
Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
All right, so then we go and we will update. Not the moment. All right, so. All right, so that is a library. It takes up a single city block. It gives you 1 bonus to economy, 1 bonus to your loyalty. Does not increase your stability at all. Does not increase your unrest at all. Does not increase your base value at all. And gives you no bonus to defense.
Okay, cool.
All right, and then we'll wait till Haley gets back to explain what the next phase is. Well, you've managed to get your economy up quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it does feel like you need a decently high economy number and probably a few buildings with those magic items. Really start doing well.
Yeah, the taxes that you guys get off those magic items.
I mean, they don't come cheap, but those seem to be worth the investment for the most part.
Meeper, don't leave your cheese bits all over the thing.
I'm a cat mom. I'll do what I want.
She like, I have string cheese, and she likes cheese, so she always comes and asks for some, but then she like chews it up, eats some of it, and then leaves bits of it all over the friggin' bed.
Oh.
And then she has the audacity to ask for more. Audacious cat.
Poor kitty. Hmm. All right.
Chess.
Wow. So 2/3 of your population lives in your city alone.
Sweet.
Wow. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Just as an aside,
Yeah. Because I mean, there's nothing more to do in the phase because you have nowhere to. I'll move back to the.
yeah. When we were traveling to the Lebeda household, pretty much the entire time they were in the carriage, Hans was busy tinkering with a rather long pieces of wood.
Okay.
And he did bother testing it. I just need to figure out how this is working.
I mean, you have a ton of free time now. Downtime is the word that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I've kind of been playing it. It's like as the kingdom's been getting started, it's been getting busy, and like that's the first chance he's really gotten to actually work on it. But as the kingdom goes on, he'll find more and more time to actually do that. It's just that things got really crazy really quickly. So if I go in here. No.
I have to admit, I kind of enjoy how just an accidental feature because I just did the roads so that they would connect things together. But I kind of like how as you get farther away from civilization, the roads are getting smaller. All right, so then, Haley, after you guys decide what building you want to build and where you want to build it, you'd normally decide if you want to build any more roads. But every single one of the squares that you own has a road in it, so you can't. There's nowhere to plant them.
Okay.
Then you would decide whether or not you want to build any farms. Every square that can have a farm has a farm currently. So next is your edicts that you want to adjust. So the edicts are
That's cool.
here. Are basically just rules that you guys can change if you need to emergency change up things that are working in your kingdom.
Well, we need to switch who's in charge of stuff, right? Okay. I thought maybe that was at this point.
No, we already did that.
Okay.
So I'm assuming no one wants to change up any of the edicts.
Gosh darn it! It blows up again.
I
What?
think it would be better if I don't change any edicts upon first arrival.
Yeah. For us so far.
All right. Then we come to income phase. You guys can either deposit money into your kingdom from your travels, or take money out for your travels, which have effects. But we usually don't do that because nobody wants to, because the withdrawal effects are only in desperate circumstances, and no one has enough money to deposit it.
Unless you brought 4,000 gold with you.
She did not.
No.
All right. So then you guys can try and sell any of your magic items that you have by making an economy check, which I think is what is that what you just tried to do there, Caleb?
No, actually, that
Oh.
was for something else.
Okay.
Okay,
So now you can try and sell that collection of you sell that collection of potions, that creative potions. So you guys get 2 BP off of that.
I have input that.
And I
Yeah.
deleted the minor item because it has been sold. All right, and then you guys try and generate economy. So you have to make a DC check, an economy check versus the DC.
I
the
just
command
wasted my good roll. Oh no, I didn't. And we did put our +3 for the spy master into economy again. It's still our lowest stat.
Yep. So that's
No, we-
another 35. So now you get they'll get a number of BP equal to that number divided by 5, which is 7 in this case. So you guys go up to 20.
Made a profit.
Yay!
Being up to 20. All right. Yeah, no, that low roll that I made earlier, that was okay. So one morning,
the testing
one
the gun.
morning, one morning on the way back from the Lebeda estate, you hear an enormous bang.
At one point, Napkip just looks over at him and just goes, "He's at it again, isn't he?"
Comes back with many splinters of metal and a lot of black stuff just covering him. It's like,
Oh gosh.
upon reflection, filling it was probably a bad idea.
Do you need any help?
No, no, thank you. I don't need any lunch.
Imogen's gonna like assist him and like pick splinters out of his face and stuff.
Wait, I'm sorry. What happened? I was talking.
Yeah.
Hans was testing his new gun. It did not go well.
Oh no! Oh, Robin said pick splinters out. I heard kick.
Oh no.
Like,
No, I'm gonna pick splinters out of his face and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then the final thing that happens is the event phase, which is something that I do to see if special events happen.
I like that idea.
Okay. So Robin,
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
at some point during the month, while you are down taking care of work, there's been news of bandit activity in the forest over here. While you are there, Akiros also happens to be working
Oh
in that
my
village that
gosh!
day.
No, this is not a
The one
showdown.
who was shirtless or the one who won the archery tournament?
That's
This one.
the shirtless one.
Okay.
Um,
What's the other one's name again?
the really good archer's name is Gladar.
Gotcha.
Caleb, what's the opposite of a harem?
A reverse harem.
Reverse harem.
No, I didn't know if there was a word for it or not.
Unfortunately, not as far as I am aware. I am not Caleb. I should not be answering this question.
Is this becoming a reverse harem anime? Is that what this is becoming, Joel?
No.
Well,
no,
if you
no,
just
no,
get
no.
with one of the no. While
Character is already married to avoid all these shenanigans. No.
Actually.
So while I mean you guys are both in the village taking care of stuff, you're kind of ignoring each other. But at one point where you're both in the general area, a woman comes up to you.
Okay.
She is wearing a plain black robe, and she goes, "Help! I need help." And she's not offend anyone else. I'm gonna stop trying to do a deaf accent, but she has a deaf accent.
Okay.
Of course, now I really just want to make the joke that who cares if I'm making fun of the deaf accent because they can't hear me anyway.
Oh my gosh, Joel,
Which
get
is
out.
horrible and mean, but
Ow.
funny.
Ow. Get out.
So she goes, she saying, help, I can't find my son. I think he ran into the woods. I need help.
Imogen's going to, like, I'm guessing she figures out that she's deaf and
Yeah, like she's still able to speak. She just has a very strong deaf accent.
Remarkably, it reminds you of Hans last month when he. No, sorry.
I point towards the forest and mouth like that way.
She responds, yes, that way. Akiros has wandered over to see what's going on. He's picked up the gist of the situation too, and he goes,
Is it towards the Thorn River camp?
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump on Borvo and start heading in that direction.
All right. The other Akiros and the woman follow after you.
Well, I don't want her to come. What if there's bandits? There's probably bandits. I don't want her there.
She's probably a bandit. You don't want her there.
She's the bandit.
I mean, you're not gonna be able to stop her.
Fine. Imogen like pulls on Borvo's reins and like sighs and goes back and starts walking with them. Like having Borvo walk, you know.
Okay. Have him start doing the scent trail.
Yes.
Um.
Imogen's pretty sure she already knows where they are, but she's just gonna.
Does Imogen not call for help?
What? This is her job.
She is the help.
I am the help.
You are the help. I mean,
I am the law.
like, I guess there is. Oops. I guess there is someone else to help you already. Just, you know,
Yeah, Borvo.
don't go. It's dangerous to go alone. But yeah.
I'm not alone. I've got Borvo.
Right, Borvo. Ah, I'm sorry.
Borvo. She okay, when they get closer to the camp,
Mhm.
Imogen's going to like hold up a hand and like try to stress that she should not follow her because there's probably gonna be a tussle.
She is calling out her son's name.
Stop! 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 Stop!
She
Imogen's
can't
going.
hear you.
There actually appear. So she just wanders into the camp, and I'm assuming you wander in after her. It doesn't appear as though anyone is there.
Oh great. Perception.
Yeah, Akiros is looking around. And obviously you're there, and you don't like him. And he goes, "Look, he goes, why don't you stay with her, and I'll split up and start looking in that direction and see if I find any clues."
Imogen's like, she's about to argue, but then she realizes how the argument's going to go. It's going to be like, why don't you stay behind? No, why don't you stay behind? And so she's like, fine, and just stays
Or even
behind.
potentially, why don't we stay together?
No.
Eyebrow raise on his part.
And she just stays with the woman.
Alright, one second.
She dismounts Borvo and tries to stress at her to try and to be quiet because there could be something that wants to find her and not do nice things.
Alright, she gets quiet.
Good. Okay.
Sorry, one second. I prepared something for this, and I'm having trouble finding it, and it's
Oh no.
driving me
Okay.
crazy. Cause I'm like, I made the thing. Where did I put the thing?
I swear this exists.
In the meantime, I'm rolling perception.
Did you roll a 2?
No, it's 6.
Oh.
Or no, 5. Wait, no. What I roll? Yeah,
How
I
to
rolled a
insult
5.
someone's stats. What did you roll? A 2? I rolled an 8.
No, it's
Still not
to be
great, but
fair,
not
my
bad.
perception is still stupid, so even if I roll a 2, I get like 18.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, my perception is stupid. It's cause my helmet adds to perception and I already have some class bonuses to perception.
Your helmet, which usually restricts your view, helps with perception.
Yes.
Because it's a magical Aristelian helm.
It is a magic stag helmet.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I have a feat that adds to perception. And I also have 3 ranks in it. I have a racial bonus to perception also, and I have the helm.
Oh, it's getting late anyway. Okay. One second, let me just figure this out. Okay.
Yes.
You do not, in fact, notice this.
What?
Oh wow.
This is impossible.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Imogen,
Okay.
all of the sudden, you feel a knife being stabbed into your back.
She is the bandit!
And while you, dear
I'm
goodness.
assuming Borvo sees this and is like, nope!
He is going to interfere, but in the meantime, alright, I'm just going to roll this
Roll
dice off.
deflect.
No, I already rolled for that.
Okay.
No.
I rolled stealth and her her attack roll, and both happened. So no, you were the one dice I needed. Come back.
Uh,
All right, so take 15 points of damage.
Good lord.
And that's where we'll end tonight.
oh no.
dun, dun, dun.
But. Oh, no.
As you feel the knife getting stabbed in into your back, you hear in her same voice state out, "Now you die, Aristelian wench."
What the frick?
One second. See, I wrote all these things out ahead of time, and I'm trying to remember exactly what everything was because. Looking up the thing. Yeah. Okay. Nope. That's all. That's all. That's all she says.
Got some kind of terrible person here.
Wait, did you ever sense motive on her?
No.
No, she did not.
Oh no!
I had no reason not to trust her.
A random person comes up to you when Joel rolls random event.
I don't know.
Okay,
Because I will say this to Robin. I've made a pretty good job of making it so that these things don't happen often. So she's kind of forgotten to be aware of everything.
Oh,
yeah.
I have stopped throwing these things. I usually don't often have these twists.
I expect the political machinations to not trust it. I don't expect some rando to be like, I'm gonna stab ya.
That's
this is-
true.
Woman out in the wild, just trying to live like everyone else. This is one of her people,
Exactly.
and she's been tricked by them.
I put all of those points into bluff for nothing. For nothing.
Apparently, she had pretty good,
Stealth? Oh yeah.
yeah, stealth.
All right. Well, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it here at that cliffhanger.
Oh my gosh.
So next week's gonna start with a rumble.
It's gonna start with me casting Acid Maw on Borvo.
All right. So I hope everyone had a good night. And thanks to everyone who tunes in and listen. We love you people for doing that. So
Thank
have
you.
a good night.
Good
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.